What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. So you're probably wondering why I've got my car bonnet up, and that's because today the theme of the video is car maintenance. And as you guys can see from the title, I'm gonna be giving you a bit of a story time to a big £3,000 mistake that I made back in 2012 with one of my first automatic cars. I'm actually gonna go for a drive now, but just thought, let me do the intro with the bonnet up, just to drive home and emphasize, how important it is to, think about car maintenance when you first purchase your vehicle. So yeah, people, let's jump into the car and let's get into today's video. So people, let's go back to 2012. At this time, I am 21 years old, and by this time I've already had 2 cars already. Both of them are manual, and the reason I'm telling you that is going to be important later on in the video. So yeah, both of them were manual at the time. Now my second car was a Fiat Punto, and after getting this car, which was, as I said, a manual, I decided that I actually wanted to, get something that was a bit bigger, upgrade, and also get an automatic car. And as I said, the fact of jumping from a manual to automatic is going to be important for the video, because it's going to tell you exactly kind of what happened. So I found a 2012 Ford Focus Z-Tech, I believe they're called. I'll probably put it up on the screen now. It was from a guy that was based in Hounslow. So called him, arranged to go and view the car. Went with a friend of mine, went to view it, and instantly loved it. So by this time I had actually sold my Fiat Punto I think about 2 weeks before. So I was already ready to buy the car. So I told him I would come back the next day with my dad, actually, because I wanted my dad to just kind of check it over and look at it for me and just make sure that everything was all right. And I actually should have got a verified mechanic, not just a family member, to come and check it. So we checked it over. At the time, everything was fine. Bought the car. Now the car cost me £3,000 at the time, and I bought it in cash. I was still studying at the time, but I had a part-time job, so I saved up a bit. So ended up buying the car cash. Everything was fine, and I think it was about 2.5 to 3 months after I had purchased the vehicle, I started feeling like a bit of, the car started moving a bit weird, especially like when I would take off from a dead stance. Like in my car now, that's a DSG. When it takes off, there's no like stuttering. The car isn't feeling like it's lagging or anything like that. It just, when I press down on the acceleration, it just goes. And by this time now, I've had a lot of experience and information on, automatics and DSG, so I can talk about it in this way. So when it came to my Ford Focus, I started to feel it, as I say, it started to kind of stutter, and when I was pressing down on the acceleration, it was kind of lagging. So I remember I went to go to a friend's house to go and pick them up, and once I kind of had stopped outside their house and turned the ignition off and then turned the car back on again, and the car wasn't starting at all. So long story short, we had to get the AA to take the car to a garage, and then I said I would kind of like sort it out from then. Now once I kind of got in contact with the garage and they told me what the problem was, they told me that the actual automatic gearbox in the car had gone. That's why it wasn't starting, it wasn't giving any power to the car as well. That's why I wasn't able to start it. And at the time, I didn't really know, a lot about automatic cars. So I done my research on what the actual problem was and how much it would be to get it fixed. I found a garage and they told me it was going to be £3,000 to actually get the car fixed. Bear in mind, I just paid £3,000 out of my own pocket to buy the car, and now I've got a bill for the same price, to fix the automatic gearbox than what the car was actually worth. So basically, at this time, I had this decision to make: pay the 3,000, which basically I didn't have at the time. I never had just money lying around like that, especially at that age, and still being a student. Or you sell the car off for parts and essentially basically give the car away. Went with option number 2 because at the time, as I said, I couldn't take a financial hit of trying to find the £3,000, because it's a lot of money just to get the gearbox fixed on the car, and it was worth the same amount as the car. So I ended up parting ways with that car and having to get rid of it. Now, as I said at the start of the video, the reason I'm making this is to not just tell you a story, but to actually show you how important car maintenance is, and knowing about it, and not necessarily you having to know everything but it's about having someone around you who knows a lot, or having a good mechanic who can guide you in the right direction. And when it comes to car maintenance, it's something that I've mentioned on previous videos here and there. But I actually wanted to make a dedicated video for it because, as I said in the beginning, it's something that is very unthought of. It's not thought about a lot. It's underrated, and most people don't factor it in when they're first buying cars. And that one experience changed the way that I bought cars, for the rest of my life up until now. I always make sure that I've got cash reserves on hand when I buy a car in case anything goes wrong. Definitely research common faults with the car that you're going to buy. Now, with this car, a common fault was actually the DSG box gearbox going. But what I done when I first bought the vehicle, I got the gearbox serviced straight away because I knew that it was something that could go wrong, and it hasn't given me any problems since. Also, another thing what it taught me is that a cheap car or a cheaper car can always, become an expensive car overnight. And what do I mean by this? I mean, a lot of the times when people are buying their first car, they go kind of really, really super cheap. And I'm kind of against that sometimes because, down the line, that car most likely is going to give you lots of problems. I've had brothers, my brother, my sister has bought cars, my aunts, uncles have all bought cheap cars in the past, and I have done it myself. And all that comes with is problem after problem after problem. Whether it's with the clutch, the gearbox, the engine, something going wrong, the tires, there's always going to be a problem. So when you do buy a car or buy your first car, try not to go super cheap, because it's going to end up costing you probably double in the long run. And another thing that I want to talk about and what it taught me is not to spend every penny on the vehicle. Now, for example, if you've got let's say a £10,000 budget on a vehicle that you want to purchase, my advice to you would be maybe spend 7 to 7.5 on the vehicle, and keep the rest of the money on the side for, as I said, if anything goes wrong, you can put it towards also your insurance, tax, MOT, servicing. Just, make sure that you have money on the side for when things eventually do go wrong, which they always do with any car, no matter how good it is. And let's get back onto the topic of maintenance. And I want to talk about something what we kind of all do as people. And I mentioned it earlier in the video, and that's to ignore the warning signs when something is going wrong. You know, I talked about when the car was not moving correctly, when I was, you know, pressing the accelerator and it was taking time to go, it was lagging. That was over an extended period of time. The service light also came on as well, which I ignored. In my head, I was thinking, oh, it'll probably be all right. It's just probably something that will fix itself, or if I do need to fix it, it's going to be a cheap fix, which it wasn't in the end. And just hoping that it wasn't anything serious, but in the end, it was something serious. And, you know, I ended up basically throwing away £3,000 down the drain just because of those little things that I was ignoring. Maybe if I would have, you know, taken it to a garage and they maybe could have done a service on the gearbox and kind of brought it back to life for me, and I would have been able to drive it longer. But, you know, the mechanic said as soon as he saw it, yeah, the gearbox has gone straight away. It hasn't been maintained properly. And as I said, this was the reason why I made this channel, because I want to be able to share my experiences of life, and especially to do with, you know, the car sector, because I actually have owned a lot of vehicles, and, you know, it's something that I know a lot about. So I just want to share knowledge on that and just show you guys that, you know, when you do buy a car, just please think about the maintenance in the beginning. You know, you don't, it's like, you know, buying a mansion and then complaining about the maintenance costs down the line, or complaining about having to keep the garden clean, when at the end of the day you bought a mansion. Of course there's going to be running costs and maintenance costs. So if you just think about it in that way, and always try to keep on top of it, always making sure your cars are getting MOT'd on time, you're getting a regular service. I do my service once a year. I know some people that do it twice a year, every 6 months. It just depends on the kind of car you've got. I don't have a performance car, so I think once a year is fine, and I just, you know, keep the old topped up. I just check stuff over myself and just make sure stuff is running okay. But if you do have a performance car, like a M4, a M3, a C63, an Audi S3, then maybe then you want to, you know, get the car serviced more often, and look into things, because those things can really be costly as well. I mean, my brother recently bought a Mercedes C-Class, and he had something that actually went wrong with it. I can't remember exactly, but it didn't sound too serious. But the Mercedes dealership were quoting him almost £4,000 to get this, you know, issue fixed, which in my head would have been maybe a £500-600 job. But when you do have these higher end cars and performance cars, then it is going to cost you, you know, much more on basic repairs. And as I said, I've had many people around me who have had cars who have not thought about maintenance. A close friend of mine bought a, you know, Vauxhall Corsa many years ago, and within 2 weeks a bus hit into the side of him, and the whole of the side of the car, you know, needed changing. The panels needed changing, but you could still drive it. But he never had the money to, you know, get the repair done, and he didn't want to get it done because it would have cost so much. So just little things like that have happened in the past always kind of stay with me and let me know, you know, exactly what I need to be doing, you know, when I buy a vehicle, and when I, you know, end up selling this one one day, I'm, you know, moving on to a bigger vehicle, and I'm gonna know already what I need to do, and, you know, the funds on exactly on what I need to keep to the side. But yeah, people, I'm just gonna run through again some of my advice for people buying their first car, or just buying a car in general, and then I'm gonna end the video there. But the first one is leave money aside when first purchasing the vehicle. Check reliability issues. try and get a mechanic to come with you. I know there's a company called Click Mechanic that I've used before. This is not sponsored by them. They don't know me, I don't know them at all, but I've just used their services before. And they get a mobile mechanic to actually go out and check the car for you. So you can go and check it yourself first in the beginning. If you like it, you can call them. I think it's a 60 to 80 pounds visit, but that 60 to 80 pound visit is worth it, rather than buying the vehicle and then finding out that you have a 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 pound issue later on down the line, where you can either fix it or sell the vehicle. Don't ignore warning signs. If you've got signs coming on your dashboard that's warning you to get a service or low tire pressure or something's wrong with the car, go and get it checked out straight away. It's going to save you a lot of money in the long run. And just, as I preach always on this channel, don't buy a car that would financially ruin you if something major was to happen. Try and get a vehicle within your budget. I know it sounds boring and a sensible thing to do, but something that's going to help you later on down the line. As I said, people who spend all their budget on buying BMWs, Audi, Mercedes, there's nothing wrong with that at all, but just know the position that you put yourself in once you get into these high-end vehicles. But people, I'm going to end the video there. I just want to shout out everyone who's been watching the videos. I'm closing in on 1K subscribers, which was crazy because 12 days ago I only had 595, but my video has done so well and it's made the channel grow, and I appreciate that a lot. Just shout out to everyone who's been commenting as well, because I didn't think I would ever say that I'm going to be closing in on 1,000 subscribers when I started this channel at all. So shout outs to you. But wait for the back to go past first. But I will see you guys on the next video, and peace people.